crowd response. But right now, let's take you to our two wonderful talents who are here with us. They are, of course, Pua Kanahele, and of course, Ke'ahi Tucker from KGMB, K9.
Hi, aloha.
K. Aloha.
All those stations. Thanks a lot, Kimo and Amy. Aloha. Aloha, Auntie Pua.
Aloha, hiahia oko a pauloa.
So nice to be here with you again.
Lovely to be here this evening.
You know, the first thing I wanted to talk about is that chant that opened this broadcast here tonight. That was made just for this, right?
That was made for Hilo. And it talks about Hilo and all of the famous places in Hilo, Waiakea, the Ahupua that we sit in right now. And if you drive a little bit out to the coastline, they talk about Makahanaloa, and that's the point that you see right out there. You're sitting in the Bay of Hilo. And then they talk about the verdant forest of Hilo, the tops of the mountains, down to the ocean. That's what that chant is all about.
I love it. It's beautiful. It's
yes.
basically a welcome, saying, this is our island.
This is
Come
Hilo,
and enjoy,
welcome. Yeah.
So then tonight is all about kahiko, connecting us to the past. Why is it so important?
Well, kahiko is the basis of who we are and what we are. Hula kahiko we used to call hula olapa, but it dances and it talks about the environment. Basically, it talks about the lava flows, it talks about how things grow off of the lava, it talks about the rising of the sun and the setting of the sun, and the
changed and evolved over the years, or is it really the same dancing they were doing so many decades, centuries ago?
I think dancing has evolved, and it has to evolve. I think the spirit of the dance has not evolved. It's still sort of a very basic dance. It's still very much close to the earth, and not so much harmony in it as we hear in Hula Awana, for instance. And so that, you know, the drumming sort of takes you back to the beat of the island and the beat of the ocean. So it always reminds you what you're dancing about.
I must say, I've been so impressed with the young ladies from last night, especially the Miss Aloha Hula contestants, how connected they are to the language and the land and just the Hawaiian culture. They are living it.
Their chanting was exceptional last night. I love the chanting. There's a couple of chanters that I thought was outstanding.
So here we have the royal court making their way onto the stage. Of course, the introduction chanting here. This is a different chanter than last night.
This is a different chanter from last night. Robert Ikua is from Kona. His mother is a kumuhula. And he's been chanting since he was a little boy.
What an honor to be on the stage, huh?
Yeah.
And of course, here come the same king and queen from last night. This is Mo'ikane, Aaron Kapo, Mai'i Kaleo.
And Mo'i Wahine, Kaleo Unalani Meiling Francisco.
And they also have about 20 or so people in their court, all age ranges here too.
Lots of the younger people on court are always here. And one of the wonderful things about that is that they're being trained to be on the stage, trained to know the protocol of the court.
And how do they get selected?
The Mo'i Wahine and Mo'i Kane have a committee to select them, and people of the community will input names for them. And then the committee selects the names according to what they do in the community and community level.
Needless to say, they are very active and really big contributors to their neighborhoods and communities. You know, you were mentioning the hula kahiko and its connection to the land and the life of the Hawaiian culture. You know, every lei po'o, the head lei, the kupe'e, the wristlets and anklets, the adornments you see on the hula dancers, they all hold a special meaning, not just to the dancer or to the mele.
The adornments that people choose to place on their bodies are extremely important. I feel like the dancers become kuahu of themselves. Kuahu are hula altars that would contain all of the plants that were the body forms of laka. When a dancer goes on stage, they place all of these same plants and adornments upon their body. La'i, tea leaf, palapalai, maile, lehua. All of these plants are the body forms of the goddess of hula. And so when they place these adornments on their bodies, laka becomes a part of them, because laka is within the palapalai on your head, upon the liko on your hands and feet and adorning your neck. And so those adornments are extremely important.
Our adornments are lei, whether it be our lei ai, our lei po'o, our kupe'e. It's really a way for us to connect to the mea ola, to our biodiversity, because this is our akua. This is who we sing about, we chant about, we honor, and it is our way to connect to our mea ola, to the living things that surround us. And so we use it to connect spiritually, to connect culturally, and to bring us, when we come up here into the Vau Akua, or to the area where our gods reside. It's our way to say aloha and to say mahalo.
If you are going to adorn yourself with the kinolau of your gods, then you have to do it well, or at least learn how to make it and go through the pain, because that is part of your journey. When you are finished with the dance, you must know what to do with that. You do not throw it in a rubbish can like I've seen. You must put it back in the earth where you got it from. So, at times, we tell our students, you take it back to your yard. Or, we will take it back to Hale Ma'u, and we would put our adornments there to make sure it's back in the aina. That is part of the journey.
Wow, makes me appreciate my own lei so much more now, yeah?
I like to see the cycle of what just happened right now, them picking it, bringing it out of the forest, adorning themselves, becoming the kuahu, and then taking it back.
So meaningful. And you have a great way of explaining that connection to the forest.
Yes, they become the laka, as he was saying. And so the forest enraptures them when they bring it out.
Great stuff. Thank you, Auntie Pua. Stick around. We are going to talk more about Miss Aloha Hula 2011, Tori Hulali Kanha, after this short break.
Welcome to AlohaOutlet.com, an online shopping mall specializing in authentic hula supply. Come to AlohaOutlet.com and you'll find everything you need for hula: skirts, dresses, fabrics, implements, and accessories. Even a variety of ukulele. If it has to do with hula, you'll find it at AlohaOutlet.com. Free shipping with most orders. E como mai. Visit AlohaOutlet.com today.
ハイアットリージェンシーワイキキビーチリゾート&スパは陽気な王様メリーモナークとして愛され、フラを叩いたカラカウ王をはじめとする王族ゆかりの地に立っています。毎週金曜日午後4時半からは無料ショーアロハフライデーを開催しています。フラや音楽を通してアロハスピリッツを体験してくださいね。ホテルの最新情報は日本語サイトハイアットワイキキ .jp をご覧ください。
He ku'una ka hula e ola ana mana hanauna hou. E ola no ea, e ola. A hanauna hou aku. O ka punana leo, he honua ho'oulu o lelo a ike ku'una Hawaii. E komo like mai no.
Imiloa Astronomy Center of Hawaii, an award-winning interpretive center for astronomy and Hawaiian culture.
K5's presentation of the Merrie Monarch Festival is sponsored in part by Hawaiian Airlines, Hawaii Flies With Us, and Hawaii Island Visitors Bureau. Find your inspiration here on Hawaii, the Big Island.
Welcome back to Makaukau here at the 2011 Merrie Monarch Festival. So this is the second night of competition. Last night was the first for Miss Aloha Hula, and a star was born, as they say, a young lady named Miss Tori Hulali Kanha from Maui.
I wanted to say something about the two Maui kumuhulas that the first and the second place came from Maui, and they were very, very close, as you can see. But those two kumuhulas are very popular in Maui. Not only are they popular on Maui, they're popular all over the place. Both of them have made CDs. So both of them sing.
Talking about Keali'i Raichel
and Napua. Yes. And but they're not only good at singing, they're also great kumuhulas, great chanters.
Yeah.
And so that shows in their students
And very
as well.
dominant
Yes.
lately in the competitions. We caught up with the new Miss Aloha Hula just moments after she won.
I'm just so happy. What can I say? I worked so hard, and all these people, my family, my halau, it's them that got me here. My kupuna, I owe it all to them. I don't know how I'm the recipient of all of this, because it's all for them. I was always, you never can be too confident. I mean, I was confident, but you never know. You just never know. But I was happy with my performance because I was able to make my family and my ohana, my halau ohana proud as well. So that's all that matters. I will be thinking about it tomorrow. I mean, oh my goodness, this is just so much in my head right now, but I know we'll be fine. We're so makoko, we'll be good to go. Just go for it. If you love it and you love hula, you love your olelo, your culture, just go for it. Just mahalo okupaka yapao, mahalo nui.
Coombs, nominated for Nahoku Hano Hano Group of the Year and Hawaiian Album of the Year. Coombs. The Honolulu Magazine says you wish you could go on tour with these guys. All proceeds benefit the students of Halau IKVQ. Get the new CD On the Summit by Coombs. Available online at mele.com or halauikvq.com.
Aloha Hula Supply congratulates all the participants of the 2011 Merrie Monarch Festival. For more than a decade, Aloha Hula Supply has brought quality products and excellent service to customers around the world. We offer a wide variety of supplies and accessories for traditional Hawaiian hula and other Polynesian dance styles. Join our ohana and experience the magic of Aloha Hula Supply. Visit alohaHulaSupply.com or call toll-free 1-888-635-HULA.
Hawaii's story of hula began long ago, carefully preserved by the voices and dances of generations of kumu and their students. Hawaiian author Dr. Ishmael Stagner now weaves those voices together in this new book, Kumu Hula Roots and Branches, an intricate account of Hawaiian history, spirituality, and island living that is the heart of hula. Kumu Hula Roots and Branches, proudly produced by Island Heritage.
Makau here at the Merrie Monarch Festival in Hilo, here with Auntie Pua Kanahele. Auntie Pua, you have been a judge many times
I
here.
have indeed.
It must be stressful. You have to concentrate.
It's very difficult to judge because the numbers are so wide, and you have many things to judge them from. The judges themselves must know something about chanting. They must know something about all of the different steps that are done on stage. They must know something about the kinds of lole that they're wearing and the adornment that they're wearing, whether it fits that particular melee or whether it comes within that particular time period. And so they have a lot of work ahead.
And I imagine the pool of candidates who have all that knowledge is not a huge pool.
It's not a huge pool at all. But we do have some really good kumu hulas that are coming up that they've gone the milestone in trying to understand all of that.
Here's a look at some of the judges in tonight's competition. You know, for the Merrie Monarch judges here, the responsibility goes far beyond the scorecard and selecting winners.
Everybody that sits in that audience, they all have their own interpretation, their own feelings. They look at it from a different perspective. But for us, you know, for one thing, you don't have the rules and regulations. You don't have the fact sheets. And I would venture to say that you don't have the cultural background and upbringing.
As long as they understand where the judges are coming from, if it's traditional judges who can trace their genealogy, you know? Because now if you take hula from several teachers, you're mixing it all up. You don't see that one identity.
I always have the internal thought that I am responsible for making sure that 100 years from now, it still looks like hula.
You can tell right away if all of the dancers know the story behind the dance, or if they're just going through the rote of the motions.
Along with the poetry, which is the most important part of the hula, we then have to look at, are they playing the proper implement? For example, is the pahu being done with the right poetry, or should that dance have been done on the ipuheke?
I judged definitely for kahiko technicals and how well they can put over the technicals as a group. And is every uehe consistent from the first line all the way back to the 5th line?
Throughout the dance, there has to be specific hula steps. By that I mean there has to be kaholo, hela, not movements that they're dancing to that we have absolutely no idea what the steps are.
What am I looking for? Number one, are the steps Hawaiian? Are there hula steps? Nowadays you see a lot of 3 counts. Hula is 4 count.
So I don't mind innovation as long as we still recognize it as hula.
Well, there you have it. You have to respect those judges.
They know their stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I know so many people like to sit at home and keep score and guess who they think is going to win, but boy, they got a whole different set of criteria.
And when it comes right down to it, it is the judges that actually know what's happening on stage.
Let's take a look at some of the things they're scoring. Not some, but all of these things individually will get a numbered score. The ka'i, that's the entrance?
The ka'i is the entrance.
Foot and body movements, interpretation, the ho'i, the exit, expression, authenticity of costume, posture, adornments, precision, grooming, hand gestures, overall performance. That is a lot to try to pay attention to in one song and dance, yeah?
But they do it. And they've had many weeks of preparation, the judges have, before they come up to this particular point. So they have a lot of things to read. Yeah. And the kumuhulas give them as much information as possible. But when it comes down to the stage, it's just them and looking at the stage.
And let's keep in mind, they have the best seats in the house. Right front and center, they can smell the flowers.
And see each movement.
That too. All right, Auntie Pua, so great to be with you here again. We'll be back later in the evening. For now, we want to send things over to Kimo and Amy down on the floor of the stadium. Kimo, Amy, take it away.
Aloha, you folks. Aloha, and thank you very much. Great insight, input into how the scoring is, because as people watch at home, they have to be aware that it's not just the entertainment factor here.
Yes, very much. There's a lot that the judges are looking for, a bunch of details, some of the stuff that even goes into how well the mele are researched before the olapa even step foot on stage.
Aye. And that whole, not only precision, but the connection between the kumuhula and the haumana,
that's
how
correct.
Wonderful it is. And tonight, it's in the drums, it's in the ipu, it's in whatever they share in the oli. Oh, we're gonna hear some great oli too.
Yep, we're in for some great entertainment tonight. We have a bunch of people who are here in the audience with us as well, who are fortunate to be able to have seats tonight. We were talking story a little earlier with Auntie Luana Covelu, who is the director of the Merrie Monarch Festival. Talking about how tickets sell out almost immediately. They go on sale in December, she was saying, and she waits until she's received a bunch of requests for tickets, and she actually doesn't have enough seats to fill all of the requests that she gets. So for the people who are here in the house, they're lucky to be here.
And the best seats in the house are the judges' seats, although they're hot seats. So let's go to the introduction of the judges, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Merrie Monarch Festival on Kahiko night. Ladies and gentlemen, judging the Kahiko competition requires a deep understanding of traditional hula, because contained in the dance and chants are the treasured stories of the Hawaiian people. For the Merrie Monarch judges, that responsibility goes far beyond a scorecard and selecting winners. Ladies and gentlemen, our judges, please welcome Joan S. Lindsay, Mr. Cy Bridges, Hokulani Holt, Nalani Kanakaole, Noelani Zudemeister, Kalena Silva, and May Klein. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready with our first performance in the Kahiko competition. That's coming up in just a few moments, so everyone just sit and relax as we prepare for the performance.
Handcrafted Hawaiian heirloom jewelry from Lehua Jewelers Showcase, the Lehua, and many other local flowers. We specialize in hand-cut letters with genuine glass enamel. Visit us in the heart of Waimea or online at lehuajewelers.com.
Make the most of your summer at Hawaii Preparatory Academy. Students in grades 6 through 12 will enjoy the outstanding summer program and making new friends from around the world. Apply for summer session at HPA today. Find out more at hpa.edu.